Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. My name is Yasir Yamin, and I welcome you all in this orientation session on the subject of Strategic Business Reporting (SBR). Now, SBR is a very important strategic professional exam as far as ACCA is concerned, and I always say this is your bread and butter. Why do I say this? Because whenever you are trying to become a chartered certified accountant, you see, one thing that motivated you to pursue the ACCA qualification was accounting. Yeah. And then accounting was transformed into financial reporting, and then you went through reporting standards. You got to know how financial statements should be prepared and presented, and how shareholders would benefit when you present your financial statements in a relevant form and faithfully. So a lot of things you have learned over the past years, right? And strategic business reporting is the end of it. SBR's paper is a paper where all financial reporting is technically going to end. Most of the accounting standards and almost every accounting standard that is present in the world and applicable, you are going to go through those accounting standards in this particular course. And obviously, when you become a chartered certified accountant, one thing that is, always expected out of you is, reporting knowledge. Even if you want to make up your career in taxation, even if you want to go towards auditing or management accounting or finance, whatever career path you pursue, the least amount of knowledge that you will always be expected to have is financial reporting knowledge. Yeah, so rightfully I say that this paper is your bread and butter. This will make or break your career. So we need to, really focus on preparing very well for this paper. This is one paper where you can score very well and maybe score 100 marks. I don't know. Yeah. So I think let's move on and let's get to know about the paper itself. Now, while I truly wanted to tell you everything about the paper and how you are going to prepare for it, but I feel that first of all, you should know who are you going to study this paper from. Yeah. So I want to tell you something about myself. There is a very good possibility that some of you guys do not know my background or do not know about me enough. Yeah. So I would want to pitch myself first. My name is Yasir Yamin. Yeah. So I've been teaching for the last 13 years continuously. And besides teaching, I've been working professionally. So I've gained a lot of experience working in audit firm, working in manufacturing setups. For a short period of while, I also went to an investment bank. And currently, technically, I'm working as a financial controller in a multinational company, which is almost present in every country of the world. So I've had local and international exposure as well. So the unique selling point or the USP that my lectures or my approach actually has, that is the fact that I've been continuously practicing what I preach. Yeah. So whatever I teach, I've been continuously practicing that knowledge in my real life. I've applied most of the accounting standards that I teach or I have taught. I've done consolidation. I have applied IAS 19. I've applied. I've gone through share-based payments. I've gone through IAS 21. I've gone through IAS 16. I've gone through IAS 23. Many accounting standards and many reporting knowledge. I've technically implemented that and applied that in my real life. So that particular mindset actually helps me whenever I go to teach. So I can give you some practical examples. I can give you some real life connect. And these are those type of examples that you see in your daily life as well, whenever you go to work. Yeah. So you see those examples roaming around you, and it is much more interesting when you study that way. So overall, my teaching style is always I try to engage with my students and remain interactive. Yeah. And as I said, I try my level best to give you some real world examples so that I can enhance your understanding. You see, it's very important that you have a connect with with your bookish knowledge and your real life. If you understand that bookish knowledge according to the real life scenarios, then only you can actually score very well in this exam, and you can utilize that knowledge in your real life as well. So the connection is very important. All right. Academically, I would say I'm a chartered accountant. Yeah, so I qualified from Institute of Chartered Accountants, England and Wales, ICAW. I'm a fellow chartered certified accountant from ACCA, and I also hold a Chartered Management Accountants Association from Institute of Chartered Management Accountants, Pakistan. So, this is a brief background of who I am and how my lectures or my approach is going to help you whenever you study SBR from me. All right. So I don't want to brag about myself, but I've been teaching this paper since a lot of while, right? So I've been teaching this paper consecutively, for the past decade. Yeah, previously it was P2. I used to teach P2, and now I've been teaching SBR since 2018. This is the period when it was launched. So seven consecutive years for SBR itself. And over the years, I've seen many people score very well in this particular exam. I've also seen people who struggle in this exam. So a lot of learning and experience comes into play whenever I teach a new batch, right? So that is very much important. And I always say to my students, see, this is your first attempt, but this is not my first attempt. Yeah. So you need to take that particular experience and grab that experience from me and utilize it for your own benefit. And then eventually when you pass this exam, you transfer that benefit to everybody else around you. Yeah, so it's a chain sort of thing that goes around. So try to always apply that approach whenever you are studying something. Always think in your mind that once I have understanding of a particular knowledge, yeah, I'm going to make sure that I transfer this knowledge to anyone who comes after me. And this way you always keep yourself motivated to learn better and better, and eventually the God will give benefit to you of this. All right, so inshallah you will definitely benefit. Now, besides me, what else is important? Obviously, besides me, your paper is very important. So you need to learn about SBR. There is an important quote that I always mention in my lectures as well. It's a management quotation, by the way, but it's very relevant whenever you plan out something, whenever you are going to start something, whenever you are going to commence something. And that quotation is, we always say this in management accounting within the context of budgeting, that if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. If you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So the first step of having success is always to plan. The better you plan, more likely are the chances that you will succeed. So for the past 9 years, I've been working with a German multinational company. And if anyone asks me, how do you differentiate between German people and maybe rest of the Europe, I would always say that German people spend a lot of time on planning. A lot of time on planning. And you see, I've come to the conclusion over the years that that is the particular reason why Germany had a lot of success. Yeah. So all the industrial revolution, all the successes that they had after World War was only due to the fact that they spent a lot of time on planning, and then they used to make sure that they have defined milestones. And when they had defined milestones, defined targets, defined goals, they would feel motivated to achieve those milestones, and they kept on moving ahead. Yeah, so they have a very good economy now. So I can tell you from my own experience, if you spend time right now planning your paper with me, there are highly likely chances that eventually you will score well in your examination. All right. So please focus on what the paper is all about, because based on that, we are going to develop a plan next. Yeah. Overall, I mean, if you look at the paper, the global pass rates over the last 8 attempts, at least if we go through them, in June 2023, the passing ratio globally published by ACCA for this particular paper, it was 51%. Then September 23, 50%. Then December 23, another 50%. Then March 24 and June 24, it fell down by some basis points. It came to 49%. Then again, September 24, 52%, 51%, and 50% till the last attempt, March 2025. So overall, in aggregate, if you see, the passing ratio of this paper has roughly been 50% over the recent years. And believe you me, 50% passing ratio is a very decent passing ratio when you're talking about professional level examinations of ACCA. I mean, AAA, Advanced Audit and Assurance, has less passing ratio. ATX may have less passing ratio, but SBR is one of those exams which has a very decent passing ratio. So everybody who is attempting this particular examination all over the world, at least 50% of them were successful. So I'm telling you, this is a very good news for you, because this is the exam that is easier to pass. Believe you me, I can tell you from day one. SBR is one paper that is always difficult to study, but it's relatively very easy to pass. Why is it difficult to study? Because relatively it has got a lengthy course. On the next slide, we are going to talk about the length of the recorded lectures and everything, but it's a lengthy course. You need to accept that fact that SBR is an extensive course. And I don't shy away from it. I take a lot of time in explaining all the concepts that are there in SBR. I take my time explaining each and every concept to you. So I take my time delivering this paper. It's a lengthy paper. So since it's a lengthy paper, you need to put a lot of time preparing for it. So it's a difficult paper in that context. But as far as the examination structure and examination question and examination approach is concerned, it is pretty much controllable. So I am telling you from day one, if you are disciplined enough that you go till the end, if you are disciplined enough that you go till the end, there are highly likely chances that eventually you will pass. I've seen many people who start SBR and then in between they stop, or for example they feel scared or they feel anxious about the course, and the remaining time is too less to prepare for such a lengthy paper. So somehow they panic. That's not the right approach to attempt this paper. I can tell you, if you are disciplined enough and you follow whatever we discuss in this particular orientation session, and you complete your lectures 14 days before your exam, as we are going to see in the next slide, there are highly likely chances that you will pass your paper. So that's a good thing for you. This will keep you very much motivated. All right. As far as the course outline is concerned, so I just told you that SBR is a very lengthy paper. But what I have done in order to explain this to you, and in order to make up your mind, I've just categorized the entire course of SBR, and I've distributed that into 6 broad categories. Yeah, so it's a lengthy paper. It's a very lengthy syllabus. But if I divide your course into 6 broad categories, these are the 6 categories that you really need to prepare. And this is the way you have been provided your lectures in your learning management system as well. So it's the same pattern. The first and most critical area of your syllabus is the preparation for different accounting standards. That is IAS and IFRS. IAS means International Accounting Standards and IFRS means International Financial Reporting Standards. So first, when you start your paper, you need to work on the knowledge, on the core rote knowledge of IAS and IFRS. You would come to know what are share-based payments and how they are accounted for. For example, you will come to know how what are employee benefits and how they should be accounted for. How should you measure fair value? How should you be accounting for intangible assets, or how to account for impairment of assets and things like that. So you'll be learning a lot of new accounting standards as compared to the paper FR. You'll be learning a lot of new accounting standards with me in this particular course. This is a substantial portion of your syllabus. Sir, we already know about IAS and IFRS from our previous paper, which was FR. Is there anything new when you talk about the paper SBR? Yes. A lot of accounting standards like IFRS 2, like IAS 19, like IFRS 8, like IFRS 18, like many accounting standards are such that you haven't studied before. This would be the first time that you will be studying those accounting standards. And many accounting standards that although you have studied in your previous paper financial reporting, but they are extensively and in depth tested in the paper SBR, so you have to go through them again. So for example, IAS 12, International Accounting Standard 12, which is about income taxes. Now I know that in your paper FR you would have already studied about current taxes and deferred taxes, but you haven't studied about the deferred tax implications as far as consolidation is concerned. As far as a group accounting is concerned, you'll go through these accounting standards, which although you have preliminary studied in your previous paper, you'll go through them again in much, much, much depth. Likewise, when we will talk about IAS 38, we will go in further depth. When we'll talk about IFRS 13, we will go in further depth. So not only you are going to study new accounting standards, which you haven't studied before, but you will be studying those accounting standards that you had studied before, but you are going to go through them again, in a much more extensive manner. So it's a lengthy course, as I said. And maybe approximately 50 to 60% of your syllabus is IAS and IFRS. And if you see this closely, I've marked some new tab here. Why? Sir, we already know about IAS and IFRS. Why are you stamping it with the status new? Why? Because, my friends, there are some new accounting standards that are freshly available in your syllabus. This is the first attempt of many accounting standards that are going to be examined. So there is something new within the bundle. For example, IFRS 18 is a new accounting standard in your syllabus. This is the first attempt that, IFRS 18 is going to be tested. So you need to prepare for it accordingly. IFRS 19 is new in your syllabus. You need to prepare for it accordingly. So there is something new in this particular attempt. So the first category of your syllabus is the preparation of IAS and IFRS. Once you have studied some IAS and IFRS, there is a defined approach that I have given in my learning management system. Make sure that you only follow the pattern that I have provided you under my LMS. Please do not try to skip my pattern, because I've designed all those accounting standards in a manner that whenever you study a new accounting standard, the logics of your previously studied accounting standard will get more clearer. So I have taught those accounting standards in a particular series. You should abide by the approach that I've given to you. All right. So once you are done with IAS and IFRS, you will quickly move on to group accounting. Now, under SBR, you will go through basic approaches of consolidation, plus you will be studying about advanced consolidation as well. Now, there has been a myth among students for quite a long time. Often students feel that since SBR's group accounting syllabus comprises of both basic level of consolidation, which we studied in the paper FR, and advanced consolidation. Since SBR is an advanced level paper, we should only be focusing on advanced consolidation. If you only focus on advanced consolidation and you try to skip all the learnings of basic consolidation, I'm sorry to say, but you won't be scoring well in your exam. And there are highly likely chances that if you don't have very good grip on basic consolidation, you might not even pass the exam. But I can assure you one thing, and that is a promise from my side. I can assure you that if you are an expert in the basics of consolidation, and sir, what do you mean by basics? I'm going to teach you consolidation from the very basics. How control is achieved? What do you mean by control? When control exists? What do you mean by associates? What do you mean by a business combination itself? So what do you mean by optional concentration test? What do you mean by unrealized profit on inventory transactions? What do you mean by, intragroup sale of non-current assets? What do you mean by mid-year acquisitions? Everything is covered within the basics. So even if you haven't studied about consolidation, even if you have never studied about consolidation in your life, then even you can take my lectures and become an expert in it, inshallah. So you need to get an expert in terms of basic consolidation, and that will make your advanced consolidation relatively very easy. That I can promise you. If you're an expert in basic consolidation, advanced consolidation is just a piece of cake. Nothing. I mean, it will be very easy, I can assure you. Yeah. So we will spend a lot of time after IS and IFRS. You will be spending a lot of time on group accounts. You will be seeing later on that you'll get a fixed 30-mark question on consolidated financial statements. So it is one area which has weightage of 30%, fixed 30% in your exam. Now, once you are done with that, the remaining areas of your syllabus will not take much time. For example, you have an area of ethical and professional principles. You study ethics. Yeah. Ethics comes in your examination as part of your question number 2 of your exam. We'll just follow the examination pattern in a while. Then there is some context of APMs, alternate performance measures. We'll study about them as well. Then there are sustainability reporting standards. Sustainability reporting standards are very important. These are new sustainability standards published by IFRS. So they are called IFRS S1 and S2. S1 was in your FR syllabus as well, but S2 is only available in SBR. So you need to go through both of them. We'll study both of them so that you make sure that whenever your examiner asks for sustainability standards, you are very well versed with it. And then there is a topic of current developments, which we also call current issues. Towards the end, near your examination, we'll talk about some current issues. These are current affairs, related to the reporting industry, the financial reporting industry. This we will only discuss near your exam. Yeah. So these are additional areas of your examination that we are only going to see near your exam. Yeah. So I can safely say that at least 80% of your time will be spent on these two topics, which are the core learnings of your syllabus, IS and IFRS and group accounting. Whereas 20% of the time would be spent on the remaining areas such as ethics, APMs, sustainability reporting standards, and current issues. Yeah. So please worry about these two areas and you may not worry about the 4 remaining areas, because in terms of time allocation, 80% of the time would be spent on IS and IFRS and group accounting. Make sense? Right? Is it clear to everybody? I would want your feedback. Is it clear to you guys? Excellent. Yeah. Now, sir, at the end of the day, we are studying for the paper itself. So how is actually SBR's paper examined? So guys, SBR's paper is examined in a manner that it is going to be a paper of 3 hours and 15 minutes. Your entire examination is divided into 2 sections, section A and section B. Both sections have 50 marks each. Both sections, section A and B, will have 2 questions. Yeah. So there are 4 questions in total in your examination. As far as section A is concerned, you will get 2 questions. Both are compulsory. The first question will be of 30 marks, that is predefined, and it is going to be on the topic of group financial statement and maybe some reporting issues. So you might get a scenario in your examination where you are required to prepare group financial statements. It can be a case from basic consolidation. It can be a case from advanced consolidation. We do extensive practice for this particular area. So do not worry about it. But it is very much crystal clear that 30% of your examination will be from consolidation. Yeah. Then under section A, question number 2 is going to be of 20 marks. And this particular question is going to highlight some reporting implications in front of you. And you will also be required to answer from an ethical perspective. So there will be some reporting implications under question. For example, there will be a company whose finance director, their company's policy may be to remunerate the finance director. The bonus would be paid in terms of, in terms of how much profit does the company make. And your finance director would be implying to you that you follow a certain accounting practice that may not be compliant with IFRS, but your finance director may be pushing you to apply that particular apply that accounting approach in a particular manner so that they can inflate their profits and your finance director can get very good bonus. So the 2 things are here. First, wrong reporting is being suggested. So there will be some reporting implications, financial reporting implications to the request which has been raised by a senior person in your organization, and plus there are ethical implications involved as well. I mean, should you be becoming part of his or her plans? Should you be doing something wrong? Should you be approaching the relevant authorities? Should you be informing the board of directors? What approach you should be following in such an ethical dilemma? All of that is discussed in question number 2. It's a relatively, as compared to the entire paper, question number 2 is relatively the more easier. Yeah, so it's easier than rest of the paper. People generally score very good marks in the question of ethics. Yeah. Then in section B, you will have 2 questions again. These are question number 3 and 4 of your examination. These are 25 marker questions, and both of these questions are going to be scenario based areas where your examiner is going to talk about some particular financial reporting standard from a stakeholder's perspective, and or APM or current issues can be tested. So consolidation and ethics will always come as part of question 1 and question 2. And rest of the syllabus, whether it be APMs, whether it be sustainability standards, whether it be current issues, whether it be IS or IFRS, anything can be examined under question number 3 and 4 besides consolidation and ethics. So this is your overall reporting structure. Generally, people score very well under consolidation. They score very well under ethics. The rest of question number 3 and question number 4, the only problem that generally students have is time management. So we are going to work on time management as well. Yeah. So please let me know, are there any questions as far as, the things we have covered up till now? Let me know if there are any questions. Is it clear to everybody? Yeah. So you must have you see, eventually you need to make up a plan. And you can only make a plan when you are aware of the entire scenario. So, all of the discussion that we've made till now, this is fairly very important. Yeah. But sir, eventually you're saying that planning is very important about this paper. How we are going to approach this paper, how we are going to study this paper, what should be our style of studying. Yeah. These are common questions that students generally have. So let me give you a brief overview how your study pattern should look like. You see, first of all, you have been provided with 100% recorded content of the syllabus. Yeah. So these are about 100 hours of lectures. So whenever I tell people that SBR's course is about 100 hours, people say, oh my God, 100 hours of study in such a short span of time. Sir, is it really possible? Yes. First of all, when I say that you have 100 hours of recorded lectures, this includes past paper practice as well. This includes examination kit practice as well. So all in all, you need to study 100 hours for your paper. All in all. Yeah. Including the past paper practice and exam kit practice. Yeah. So these are pretty decent for such a lengthy paper, like SBR. Plus, since it is recorded content, you can always watch lectures at 1.5x the speed or 2x the speed. This is a common practice that students follow. While I don't appreciate that my lectures are seen at the speed of 2x, but this is the reality. This is substance over form. Yeah. So while I don't encourage that, but the substance is people see our lectures at 1.5x or 2x. So when you're watching a lecture at 1.5x or 2x, you're technically spending a lot less time as compared to the legal time that is mentioned over here. So 100 hours of lectures can be watched in around 50-60 hours. Yeah. And that is including examination kit and past paper practice as well. So 100% of the recorded content is already available to you. Approximately 53% of the time, let's say 53 hours, you are going to you have 53 hours approximately pertaining to IAS and IFRS. So 53% of your recorded content belongs to IAS and IFRS. So IAS and IFRS are meant, you have many IAS and IFRS in your examination. So obviously you'll have to spend a lot of time in preparing for it. The next best area is your consolidation. If we aggregate these two areas, you can clearly see that in terms of time allocation, this is about 84%. Yeah. So most of your time will go into covering these two particular areas. And in the remaining 16% areas, you can cover the remaining portion. So ethics, technically you can do ethics in 2 days. 2 days of study and ethics is complete. APMs, alternate performance measures, 2 days of study and you can complete this area along with past paper practice as well. Then there is sustainability, 2 days of study and you can cover sustainability along with the past paper, at least one past paper that has, where sustainability was examined. And then rest of 8% of the time is core exam practice, where you do your Kaplan examination kit with me. I do many questions of your examination kit. Yeah. I help you in solving those questions. I solve those questions live. I've recorded solving those questions live. So I see a question, just like a student, I see a question, and then I start writing an answer in front of everybody. And I would be writing in a manner that an average student would be writing. Yeah. So I come into your shoes and apply whatever knowledge you have. And I tell you the approach, how to write an answer and how to save time. Yeah. So that particular 8% time goes into this stuff. So I guess, overall the concept is pretty much clear. 80% of the time you spend on consolidation and IAS and IFRS, rest of the 20% time you spend on rest areas. Your timeline approach should be, you should start preparing right now for IAS and IFRS. Yeah. You should spend a lot of time on preparing IAS and IFRS. And I always say to my students, do not sit on a particular accounting standard. I've seen many people. Yeah. So what they do is, for example, they are studying the first accounting standard that I propose under SBR study pattern. You go with IFRS 2 first. So I've seen many people, what they do, they start studying IFRS 2 and then they sit on it. They don't move very quickly. They keep on revising IFRS 2 again and again, as if they are going to, going to gain a doctorate degree in the accounting standard of IFRS 2. That is not going to help you. Believe you me, you watch the lectures, you do the practice questions that I've given you in those lectures, and that is more than enough. That is more than enough. In the paper SBR, always understand, in any professional series paper, whether it be SBR, SBL, ATX, AAA, AFM, APM, any paper of the professional series of ACCA, you cannot attempt past papers right away. So if some student would ask me, sir, I start preparing for IAS and IFRS, and let's say I'm done with IFRS 2, can I get past papers of IFRS 2 so that I can practice a lot IFRS 2 and then I move on to the next accounting standard? The categoric answer is no. You are not going to get past papers that are solely focused on IFRS 2. You see, SBR is not a petty paper. SBR is never examined in a manner where the entire question belongs to a particular accounting standard. Often you will see that a particular paragraph will have implications of more than one accounting standard within one paragraph, let alone the entire question. So you understand. So technically speaking, you cannot attempt past papers just after completing one accounting standard, 2, 3, or 4 accounting standards. So how do we go about it? I explain you a particular accounting standard. We go take a deep dive into that particular accounting standard. Then I do some practice questions in my lectures. You do some practice questions as I gave in homework, and that is enough. That is enough. No further practice is required. You move on to the next accounting standard, then next accounting standard, then next accounting standard, so that you arrive at a time where you can start your consolidation. Remember, consolidation will take another 20% of your time. And remember, whenever you are doing consolidation, you can only learn consolidation with practice. So in consolidation, I explain you a concept and then we rightly jump on to past papers. And remember, when you are doing consolidation past papers, eventually within that past paper, IFRS 2 will be tested, IAS 19 will be tested, IAS 12 will be tested. So a recall, a revision of a particular IAS and IFRS will automatically happen when you are doing consolidation with me. Yeah. So a consolidation means practice. You do practice in your consolidation topic and it helps you in revising all other topics. It helps you in continuous revision of all other topics. So what you need to do, you need to work very hard and complete all your IAS and IFRS as soon as possible. Sir, how soon? If it were to me, I would say complete it by tonight and next day you start consolidation. As soon as possible, as soon as possible, spend a lot of time in the early days and as soon as possible you complete all the IAS and IFRS so that you get into this stage. And once you get into this stage, as I explained, you will be practicing a lot of past papers. You will be revising all your previous accounting standard within my lecture. So you will be more confident once you come to consolidation. Then, as I mentioned, sometime you will be spending the last parts of your time you will be spending on other areas with examination kit practice. You should be complete with entire lectures. You should be complete. You should have done your entire recorded lectures 14 days before your exam. Please calculate it by yourself according to your attempt. So for example, if your examination was supposed to be on 14th day of, let's say, September, it's not the case, I know, but if your examination was on 14th of September, then you must have completed your recorded lectures and my complete syllabus provided to you 14 days before your exam, and that would mean 1st September. Because in the last 14 days you only do examination kit, you attempt live classes, we do mock examinations. That is all supposed to happen in the last 14 days, not before. We try to consolidate all our knowledge in one place within the last 14 days. All right. So that is the approach that you follow. While you're studying for SBR, there are some key points that you always need to remember. Again, ensure regular revision, and you do not need to go through the lectures again and again. Just try to make your notes very well. You can go through your own notes on a regular basis so that you remember those previous teachings. Do not give a big gap in your studies. Try to be disciplined enough so that you study on regular intervals, let's say every day or let's say every alternate day, but do not follow this approach that you study after every 10 days. It won't help. You must be disciplined enough. Yeah. Remember, as I told you, in SBR, exam kit can only be attempted after some course is covered. You cannot do it from day one. Examination kit cannot be attempted from day one. This is the case in all professional series papers. So I mean, this is nothing new. Then again, whenever you do examination kits with me or past papers with me, always focus on the answering technique. Always attend the live sessions that I keep. That will help you a lot. It will give you an opportunity to engage with me. I will have the wonderful opportunity to engage with you guys, multicultural backgrounds. You learn something about me. I'll learn a lot of things about you. And that keeps on the story going, right? So always attend live classes, and then towards the end, do a lot of practice on past papers. This is for the last 14 days. And voila, your paper will be wonderful. All right. So guys, do you have any questions regarding this study pattern? The first target that you have, be very quick as far as your IAS and IFRS are concerned. You will be doing a lot of practice under consolidation, and rest of the areas of your syllabus won't require much time. But in all cases, 14 days before your exam, all your recorded content should be complete. Is it clear to everybody? Is it clear to everybody, guys? Yeah. Excellent. Excellent, guys. Excellent. Very nice. So what do you need to do? Oh, furthermore, I would like to tell you one more thing. Guys, remember IFRS 18, not only IFRS 18 for SBR students, even IFRS 19, but IFRS 19 primarily relates to disclosure. So this won't have a huge impact on your syllabus. But remember, IFRS 18 is a new topic in your syllabus. And the new induction of IFRS 18 is going to affect the consolidated P&L area of your syllabus. And due to some part of MPMs, management performance measures, management defined performance measures, this is a new thing under IFRS 18. Your APMs topic is going to be affected. Clearly speaking, that does not mean that your previous lectures become redundant. I am not saying that our previous lectures become redundant, but at the very least, for consolidated P&L and for APMs, you are going to see something new in your lectures. You are going to get some new lectures in your portal for IFRS 18 and for APMs as well. Yeah. So two particular areas are only affected by this new edition. No further impacts on your entire syllabus. No major changes. All right. Makes sense. So these are, two important areas that you need to be mindful of. Okay. How to begin? If anybody who is watching this lecture who has not yet enrolled, what you need to do, you go on our website, which is www.accaonline.co. This is CO. Yeah. You can take admission from our website. In case you have any trouble or if you want any support, then you can contact our student support on these given numbers. You can contact us on WhatsApp. Yeah. In any case, if you want to directly contact me, my cell number is +92 345 2745092. You can directly approach me on WhatsApp at any goddamn time you want. Yeah. Even if it is 3 a.m. in the night, you can send me a message. Although I won't reply you because I would be sleeping. But at least you can put up a message. So you have the liberty of sending me a message. I have the choice of replying to you at my convenience. Yeah. So jokes apart, I am usually very much responsive as far as my communication is concerned. But still, sometimes it happens that I'm busy with a class or something like that, and I'm not able to respond on a prompt basis. I hope you will be understanding enough. For example, I'm taking your lecture right now. This is a live session that I'm taking. So I won't be able to respond whatever queries that people have spent me during this time. And that is pretty much understandable. And then there can be differences in time zones as well. But usually I'm very much responsive. So you won't find any trouble with this. All right. So I am directly going to reply to you. So that's a plus point. You are directly going to coordinate with me. Remember, once you have registered, you will be joining an exclusive WhatsApp group. And it is very important to join this exclusive WhatsApp group because whatever updates regarding lectures or regarding live sessions, all of those updates are going to be available on that registered students exclusive WhatsApp group only. All right. So I guess this is all from my side. I don't have anything else on me. But if you have any questions regarding the paper SBR or regarding what our approach is going to be or any other questions, I'll be happy to answer. Let me know if you have any.